Hey guys and girls, and welcome back to the #1 channel on real estate. Now before we get started, make sure to hit that like button, and if you enjoy the video, make sure you subscribe to be part of the Daily Hit family. Now let's get back to the video. Building your own dream house from the ground up is a huge undertaking. There are so many things to consider and decisions to make, it can be overwhelming. We've built our dream house and we have 4 big regrets that we want you to avoid. Watch this video for some great advice on how you can save yourself time, money, or even prevent mistakes that could cost you thousands of dollars in repair bills down the road. If you're thinking about building your own home, here's what you need to know before jumping into it. 4 biggest regrets all about home design. Many of us have a bucket list item that involves building our own house. Imagine, you get to personalize it to meet your personal requirements and preferences. Whether it's a classic rocking chair porch in the front or a hot tub in the back, and see your own castle take form right before your eyes. It's both exciting and frightening. It's one of the most difficult things you can tackle, and it's sometimes perplexing. There are so many details to consider, as well as a lot that might go wrong. This is something I've experienced firsthand. When we built our home in 2014, we made a lot of errors. Some were rather substantial, and I'm going to expose them all for public examination. Number 1. Working with a non-licensed architect. One of the most exciting aspects of creating your own home is taking into account all of the options. We went through a lot of house plan catalogs, we conducted extensive research, we created some basic sketches using our own hands to try to capture the layout of rooms and important features that would make our permanent home. Finally, we recognized that to make our dreams a reality, we need an architect to translate our concepts into a feasible house plan. As we began to look into the rates and requirements, reality set in. This sort of service might be rather costly. So when a buddy suggested that we contact an aspiring architect, we jumped at the chance. We met with the inexperienced architect wannabe to discuss our ideas. He then fed all of this data into a computer program, which we thought was a reputable professional instrument and, drumroll please, produced floor plans for us to view, which we adjusted for a few weeks. We felt confident that this partnership had gone well, and that we now had a solid strategy. Until construction began, I had faith in the design. Then when it came to floor plans, they turned out to be lacking in several crucial features for constructing a house, such as the electrical and sewage diagrams. Also, and it pains me to recall this, some of the areas didn't match up when the various floor plans were combined. For example, the plan for the main level of the house depicted a single stairway that descended directly to the basement. When you looked at the layout for the basement, though, you noticed that it made a U-turn. We spent a lot of time and money trying to correct these kinds of mistakes, which resulted in a lot of stress. Lesson learned: go pro. If you want to build your own floor plans, work with a reputable and licensed architect who has a proven track record of residential projects. Number 2. Doing business with friends. We lived in a small town where we still reside, so everyone appears to know one another. We thought we might save money by having friends in the local house building sector do the job for us. We had seen the work of some of our friends, and it had piqued our interest. We were pleased with their work and assumed they would be trustworthy. However, when it came to building our home, the situation changed dramatically. Our friends in construction didn't perform what we asked them to do, and we were afraid to ask them to change it. Given our long-standing relationship, we didn't want to seem as if we were criticizing their efforts. And as a result, we stayed silent, which meant that some of the information we desired for our dream house was withheld from us and resulted in ongoing difficulties with our home. Lesson learned: if you're going to work with friends or family members on designing your own house, make sure you set some parameters ahead of time. Make it clear that if you disagree, there should be no hard feelings. Alternatively, remember the old adage: never do business with friends. Number 3. Adding upgrades you don't really need. During the construction, our friend offered a slew of concepts that he believed would enhance the property, including excavating an additional 400 square feet in the basement. He felt we would be pleased to have this area to develop into. You're wondering where this is all going, aren't you? We didn't need the additional space then, and we don't need it now, after 17 years. There's no indication that we'll ever be able to recoup the money we spent on this added value. Our building provider recommended that rather than normal doors from the back porch and basement to the yard, we should install French doors. They appear to be attractive, and they are appealing, but we didn't realize they would take so much time and effort to unlock and open. Despite the fact that we've been in our house for nearly 20 years, the locking mechanism on the doors continues to vex us, and most of our friends and family can barely open them. Lesson learned: trust your instincts. It doesn't mean something is right for you just because a buddy or professional recommends it. Do your research before making a decision and defend your choice if it doesn't appeal to you. Number 4. Not understanding construction insurance. Once you've settled in, it's a given that you'll acquire homeowner's insurance to safeguard your house and personal belongings. But who knew you needed insurance on your house's construction while it's being built? Builder's risk insurance is one type of coverage that provides protection in the event of theft, vandalism, or natural disaster if you have it. Yes, contractors must have insurance to protect against theft or damage to their own equipment, as well as liability in the event that a worker is injured. The issue is that their policies sometimes do not cover property damage or theft of your stuff, which can be a significant gap. In our situation, we had new appliances delivered to the site of our home and were waiting for them to be installed. They were then stolen one night, along with the bathroom and light fixtures. Thieves drove off with anything they could return to a big box store for a refund. Ouch. We were devastated. We had no idea this could happen to us. Fortunately, we did have a builder's risk insurance policy that covered the cost of replacing the stolen goods. Whew. Lesson learned: it's critical to talk about insurance coverage with all of your contractors so you know what they have. Don't hesitate to get copies of their insurance declarations pages to verify they have coverage. Then contact your insurance provider to learn whether builder's risk insurance is necessary to cover any gaps. Your construction loan lender may want you to purchase a policy. Despite these drawbacks, building our house from the bottom up was a dream come true for us. Sure, we made errors, but we adore this home. It's a reflection of who we are, down to the very last hand-picked doorknob. Building a dream house can be a very rewarding experience, but it can also leave you filled with regrets if things don't go as planned. In this video, we shared our 4 biggest regrets from building our dream house from the ground up. We hope that by sharing our story, you'll be able to avoid making some of the same mistakes that we made along the way. Have you built your dream house? If so, what's your biggest regret? Let us know in the comments below.